All right. Hi again, everyone. I'm Samantha Tomer.
I'm Mariah Rutledge.
And I'm Bryn Scipio.
So in this session, we're going to talk a little bit about the difference between isolation and quote unquote social distancing as what the CDC and everyone is recommending that we do right now. I am a big fan of the Today Show, as many of my clients and friends know. I watch it every morning. I listen to it in the car on my way to work when we're going to work. And today I was watching, and Al Roker is quarantined at home because he came into contact with somebody who has the virus, and he made a statement that I really liked that was social distance. We shouldn't call it social distancing. We should call it physical distancing, because in today's day and age, we really can still be social. We can still be engaged with people in our community, with our friends, with our family, even if we do live alone. You have potentially FaceTime, Skype, you have Zoom like we're using right now, you have texting, your social media. There are so many different ways to stay connected to people. I know a lot of people, especially my extroverted friends, who are really worried about this time and being alone. But if you look at it, like, you can have a coffee date, like we said in our last session, with a friend over Skype and or FaceTime or whatever it may be, and you're still having that connection, but you just might not be physically present with that person. So again, reframing things in a way that is a little bit more positive. We're not losing that connection. It just looks a little bit different right now.
My daughter is in Girl Scouts, and they normally have meetings every other Tuesday. So that would have been tonight. We're recording this on Tuesday. And her Girl Scout leader went on Facebook Live and read the story that they need to read to get their next pedal. And ironically, it is the story of Clover, who is all about recycling and being resourceful, which I thought was pretty appropriate for what we're experiencing right now. And then she did an activity where she showed them how to take a Girl Scout cookie box, because we just got done selling all those cookies, and how to turn it into an art easel. So I just thought it was really cool for my kindergartner to still remain connected to her Girl Scout troop and know her Girl Scout leader, just by her leader hosting it was like a 20-minute, Facebook Live event. And all the girls joined. You could see who was a part of it. And so again, and my daughter said to me, like, Mommy, like, I thought we were going to Girl Scouts tonight. And I said, oh no, baby girl, like, everyone has to, stay at their houses like we talked about until this germ goes away. But isn't this really cool that Miss Amy is doing this? And so we actually ran a bubble bath for her. And so she was like in the bubble bath watching this Girl Scout thing. So definitely was a way for her to stay connected and stay social. It just looked differently.
Yeah. And all the yoga studios that I go to are offering free live sessions. I mentioned in our other session where we were talking about the different zoos and museums that are doing things, you're still getting that connection. I'm taking a French class right now. We did our class last night via Zoom, which was different, but we still had that connection with different people, and you're still meeting there's still ways to form new connections, but they're just going to look different. And reframing, and as a therapist, I think reframing is such a great tool that we not only have to use ourselves, because we're experiencing this just like everyone else is, but to teach our clients and help other people learn what that word means and how to actually implement it in their lives.
Yeah, can you guys share like what reframing exactly is? Because that not everyone may know what that term means, or also give examples of what that may look like.
So reframing is taking a negative thought or a thought that isn't helpful to us and then kind of flipping it upside down so that it can be useful and helpful and healthy to us. So for example, what would be, I guess that this situation is, creating distance between us and those that we care about, because we can't like physically touch our family members or our friends that like live cities away, or we can't go on our vacations and all of that kind of stuff. So I guess the reframe would be that we can still have that connectedness, but like Sam said, it looks different. It doesn't make it any better or any worse than the in-person connections, but it just looks different. And if we reframe the difference as okay, that would be a way of like reframing it.
Or another example to say, like, I don't know what I'm going to do with all this time. What am I going to do while I'm at home? And flipping it to say, okay, well, these are all the things that I have wanted to do and haven't had time to do. And I know, like, with my schedule looks totally different right now. I'm not working as much as I normally would be. At least I'm not away from my house for 11, 12 hours a day. I'm here, so I have a lot more like downtime and free time to do some of those things that I've been meaning to do. So taking it as a really great opportunity to do some of those things, whereas we might put them off or say, I'll get to it. Because I'm sure a lot of people's schedules are going to look a lot different with being at home right now.
Yeah.
I agree. An idea that I was thinking of too, if we're, kind of sticking on this topic of physical distancing and not engaging in isolation, could be what are some other creative ways to connect with people? So I know several people in my personal life and at work that have important events coming up, whether it's like birthdays or anniversaries or graduations for so many people. So while we may not be able to celebrate in a traditional way, really challenging ourselves to express the value of those relationships and the value of those milestones in maybe a more creative and intimate way. So if you have someone, I don't know, say a family member who lives, far away, and you are going to travel to them for their celebration, you're not able to do that. Many restaurants are permitting takeout food. So maybe, having takeout food or having delivery sent to them and celebrating with them that way. Like, hey, I heard this is your favorite pizza place or your favorite sushi place. And so while I can't be there with you in person, I'm sending this to you, to kind of like celebrate you. And maybe we can share the meal over FaceTime together or, even just a phone call.
Yeah. Or there's like those virtual like photo albums that you can send to people, so it gets like saved to the cloud and of all your like memories with them, and you can include some like kind words and how you experience that memory with them, because I think that's really validating when we hear from others like how much they enjoyed that time with us. Or even e-cards. So I feel like e-cards were a big thing for a while there when email first came out.
You're a little too young to know what e-cards are.
I love sending them to people. I was like such a nerd and I loved them. I love snail mail now.
You're like dancing the jib jab. Remember?
Yeah.
Like,
So like sending e-cards if you don't want to send snail mail, considering everything that's going on, with some like really kind, thoughtful words. I think this is a time for us to really like hone in on our communication with our friends and our family and work on those skills. I know for some people that makes some uncomfortable, but it's also a really like cool time to build on that skill and resource that we have.
And let's just add like a general therapy note in there that change and growth is uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So like it is what it is, right?
Right.
I'm old school. I like to handwrite. I send people thank you notes and letters, and who doesn't like receiving a letter or thank you note? I think it's okay to keep that. The post office is still working, so it's okay to send mail. So maybe just be a little bit even more old school than e-cards. Letters or cards if you have them. I know I have like a stockpiled blank note cards that I use all the time to send people things. So that's another way to stay connected too.
Yeah, I don't know if like honing pigeons can track the coronavirus, but we can certainly as well. But I'm totally with you, Sam. I have so much stationery, it's like ridiculous. But I do love writing handwritten cards and sending them to people. And it's true, like how many times do you open up your mailbox? I have some lady who must have put her address in as my address, and I get these like ridiculous catalogs, like 5 a day. I'm not even kidding. So when I get something in the mail, even if it's like an invitation somewhere, just a letter for someone, it's so nice and it's so exciting.
Yeah. Another thing that I've seen a lot of people doing, again, I watch a lot I watch the Today Show every day, and they showed tons of clips of different artists and celebrities doing like live things on Instagram or Facebook to bring some joy to this strange time right now. I don't want to say it is challenging, but I don't want to say it's scary. More so just challenging and different, and they're bringing joy in a different way than we might, because all of our concerts or shows and things like that are canceled. And so many platforms are offering free or free trials of things that they normally wouldn't be during this time to help engage people in different ways. I know I'm a big Broadway fan, and I read an article from Playbill today, which is like the company that normally does all the books and stuff, that the playbills that you get when you go to a show, about all the different Broadway shows that are on Amazon, on Netflix, and how to access them for maybe, I know my show was supposed to go to on Friday is canceled. So there's different ways to engage with those different communities. All you have to do is Google it.
Yeah. And I also think, so many of my friends are so dynamic as far as like what their hobbies and interests are. So I have a girlfriend actually tonight who she's really interested in getting into like the makeup industry. And so she's doing a tutorial for like her girlfriends, to teach us how to do like a certain type of like smoky eye. But I feel like it's the same with like art or with writing or with like our musician friends, either showcasing it for us or teaching us virtually, like, using this time to learn something new, and also to learn also more about our friends and our family, like what their other skill sets are.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to share with everyone too that before we started recording this, we were talking about, I didn't see the video, but you guys did, about that town in Italy. And Sam, you had said you also saw it in Spain, where everyone's kind of like leaning out their windows and singing or playing music. And so, well, I certainly am not musically inclined, and I can guarantee you none of my neighbors would want to hear me go outside and sing. As my mom says, only a son could love of that mother's voice. I would, like, go outside and sing. If one of my neighbors can sing, please go outside and sing. I would love to sit on my back porch and hear you sing whatever you need to sing. I do not have a prejudice against any type of music. If you want to sing country, if you want to sing rap, if you want to sing gospel, if you want to sing Broadway, sing, 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 sing. Please, 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 please.
Yep. The arts are like, I think that's how a lot of people are finding their joy right now, is through the arts, whether it's watching them on television or exploring them themselves in their homes right now. It can be really like, mind and soul fulfilling, I think, when we think of like mind, body, soul.
There's also millions of free classes through different online platforms. I've taken classes through Coursera. There's classes through Skillshare. You can Google things and find things on YouTube to learn how to do. As you both know, I've been kind of teaching myself how to make macarons. One day you all will try them. I'll freeze them all. This is a great time to, again, like, learn something new. And I think the community coming together is pretty powerful. Like we talked about the town in Italy and Spain, banding together to like support our local businesses and stuff. I think that's really powerful, because as somebody who's worked in the restaurant industry, I can only imagine, and I feel for them, because you know what it's like when it's slow, and now here they are not working.
I'm just looking, I want to share something real quick, because I have someone in our personal life who actually owns a restaurant. They own this amazing cafe. And I haven't been able to speak with them because I imagine things have been like really busy. So just like letting them deal with what they need to deal with. But I saw this on social media the other day, and I just wanted to read about ways that you can support small businesses. So I know this is kind of going off topic a little bit, but I think it's also ways to be connected and not isolated. It says 7 ways you can support small businesses during Corona. Shout them out on social media, write a review, like obviously a positive review, send them a referral, buy a gift certificate today to be used later or to gift it to somebody, book a trip for the summer or fall. So kind of like planning ahead to engage with that small business, invest in virtual education. And the last one is shop online.
Yep.
We just thought that was cool.
Mhm.
Also, like another way to like not be isolated and let people in your community know that you care about them and you're thinking about them and that you do view yourself as a member of the community and that they are an important part of your community.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
totally agree. Love
Yeah.
that.
Sam, with those classes that you were talking about with Coursera and Skillshare, what's the ability to engage with other people who are taking those classes? Are they more one-on-one learning? Is it video for learn at your own pace? Or are there ways to, because what I'm concerned about is people kind of getting down the rabbit hole a little bit of social media and then they find
Mhm.
they're like cut off and isolated, not only physically, but also in all forms of communication.
So the classes that I've signed up for through Coursera are more of a learn at your own pace. I'm not as familiar with Skillshare because I know what it is, but I haven't taken a class through them. But it might depend on the class. If you're paying for a class, you might get that engagement to work with other people. I know for the one class on Coursera that I've been taking, we give each other feedback and there is an opportunity to message with other users of it, but it's not a face-to-face like Zoom kind of meeting.
But there's still a level of interaction through that
A
feedback.
little bit, yeah.
Okay.
The other class I'm in is through something else, so that's why it's on Zoom and connected. But it probably depends on who the class, because Coursera has classes from Harvard, from the one, it's a French class, the one that I'm taking, and it's through a university in France. So it's all different kind of organizations or universities that are offering the classes. So I'm sure that that looks different for everyone.
Yeah, I think, as adults, it's kind of always hard to make friendships, right? And so work tends to be that default. It's either like you have friends you are someone with since like fifth grade, or you make friends at work, right?
Mhm.
So to build friendships as an adult, I think is challenging. And then now that we're not like out seeing people, building friendships in this realm can also have its challenges. So that's what I was wondering if like courses like that,
Mhm.
I guess like meetup.com is probably adjusting and probably
Yeah.
create more virtual meetings and platforms for people to
Mhm.
connect. I know that's usually a resource that can, I know someone who was like, had this very cool hobby and always was interested in improv. And the area that they lived in, they were like, there's no way there's improv in my area. And so we Googled on meetup.com, we entered a search for their zip code and their improv, and there were 3 meetings.
Oh, wow.
We're like, oh my God. So,
Yeah. You just have to look for it.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And I think even just like putting that, like posting on, I know for myself, posting on social media, like, is anyone interested in training for a half marathon? Like, I got people that I wouldn't have necessarily thought of because maybe we're not super close, but that were
Mhm.
interested in training because they also needed a training buddy. And
Right.
so just posting a question out there, like, anyone interested in a virtual book club, or is anyone interested in, teaching me the guitar over Skype,
Mhm.
and stuff like that, just posting it out there.
Yeah, I think you can take this opportunity right now too to reconnect with people you have a harder time staying in touch with.
Mhm.
Maybe a friend from high school that you've been meaning to call or connect with in a different way. We have a lot more time right now to do that. So it is hard to meet friends when you're an adult, but that doesn't mean we can't maintain or reconnect with those people that were or are important to us still. And we talked about pets during our meetings here. And pets are a great form of connection too. I know sometimes people think it sounds silly, but they really are. Makes things a lot easier sometimes, as annoying as she is sometimes. She's
That's awesome. Yeah, there she is. Shout out to like the SPCA
she
going back
wants
to
to, yep.
when the next
She
like
wants to join.
international virus hits, make sure you have a furry animal at home to
Yeah.
keep you company. Good. And I was thinking, like, Sam, as you were talking and thinking about what Mariah had said, like, maybe you could just post on your status on social media, like, I'm open to hearing from anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you've been thinking about me, please reach out and tell me that I'm open,
Absolutely.
those connections and to have those conversations, or if there's a funny memory that popped up or something that you've been thinking about, like let me know.
Mm-hmm.
I did see some of my introvert friends, because there's a joke saying, you know, we've waited all this time for this, like preparing our whole lives. And they said, you know, we know it's really hard for you extroverts. So if you want someone to just like talk to or to FaceTime with, you know, reach out. Oh, but they were being sincere. So the first part was like joking, but they were being sincere. Like,
Mm-hmm.
really happy to talk to whoever wants to have
Mm-hmm.
conversations, especially those that are like living alone.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure we've all seen those memes that are like, check on your whatever friend. And I had a friend that was like, check on your extroverted friends. We're struggling out here.
Yep.
That's great. Well, I think this is a really important topic, and I think it's one that's going to continue to come up for people. Again, if there's anything that you want us to talk about, absolutely let us know. We're accessible in so many different ways, and we will be certainly sharing more of these videos as I think things will become, you know, this whole 2-week business is not there. Let me tell you, if it's we're going to be back to work in 2 weeks, like then we need to play the lottery too, because
Yeah.
I have to fulfill you. So I think things are going to get a little bit more challenging before
Mm-hmm.
they return to what we are calling normal. And so
Mm-hmm.
we're here for you. We are
Yep.
here to support you, absolutely, in any way that we possibly can. So I hope everyone's doing well. And if you're not, it's okay, because we can end on this. I saw a meme that was of like a Barbie doll who was like missing half of its hair and the other half was like pulled out of its head. And it said something about like me being a therapist trying to keep it together in my personal life. And then the next image was of like the perfect Barbie doll. And it was like me in front of my clients. So we're humans too, and there's times where this is, you know, really challenging, and we have to really tap into our flexibility and creativity with all this.
Mm-hmm.
So
We're learning as much as you guys are.
Mhm.
Hey, this is new for us too, so
yep.
we're all in this together.
Yep. All right, sounds good. We'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, bye.